Hello sports fans and welcome back to the Planet Zoo 100 Baby Challenge. Today I've got a little bonus video for you. If you've been following along with the previous episodes, you'll know this challenge is basically a breed off between the habitat animals to see which ones can make it to 100 babies in a family unit. Last episode we concluded the challenge seeing 10 of the animals achieve the target, but with the launch of the Planet Zoo Wetlands Pack, I figured it was only fair to run a bonus special event to see if any of the new animals can make it to that target too. So who do we have taking part? There's 7 new habitat animals in the Wetlands Pack for us to put to the test, first being the Asian small clawed otter. I'm wondering if these guys have similar breeding habits to the giant otter, as they didn't perform too well in the previous episode, but it's unfair to judge based on how well a previous variation of the species performed, so we'll have to wait and see how well these little ones can do. Next is the wonderful Capybara, and I've got to say, when I was breeding these guys to make the OG pair, their numbers were pretty solid, so potentially a highly competitive species here. Next up is the Nile Lechwe, and I'll be honest, this pair was a bit of a nightmare to breed to this point, so I'm a little reserved on how I think they'll perform today. Following the Lechwe, we have the absolutely stunning Platypus. They feel like steady breeders. They're promiscuous, which does help in this challenge, although I've not checked how long these guys live for or how long the gestation period is. But considering how well evolution has made it so that these guys are survivors, I'm quietly confident, so watch the space. Moving over to the other side here, we have the red crown crane. These guys are monogamous, so that does narrow down breeding somewhat. They do live a long time though, so very similar setup to the grazer flamingo. So potentially could get there, but they might just be a late bloomer. Following the crane, we've got the spectacle caiman. Very pretty reptile here. Our reptiles tend to perform better in the challenge with having a lot of babies per mating event, but in the last challenge, the dwarf caiman bowed out pretty early into the competition, which could have been something to do with their lifespan. Something went wrong for those guys, so hoping the spectacle caiman has a better outcome here. Our final species taking part today is the wild water buffalo. My experience with these guys so far, breeding wasn't really high on their agenda, so not expecting a lot from them, to be honest. Anyway, that's the additions we'll be running in the challenge today. For the benefit of those coming in fresh, there's a couple of rules for the Planet Zoo 100 Baby Challenge. We start with a pair of animals representing each species, so our 7 different species here, and they're known as the OG pair. The OG pairs have already been bred specifically for this event, ensuring good stats and fertility to start them off. So once I turn on animal aging and birth, they will likely all get breeding right away. From that point, basically, as far as breeding's concerned, anything goes. So when the offspring matures, if they start breeding with the OGs or each other, that'll count in the final total. To make things fair, and so we've got a direct comparison, I forward the time to the same date we started on the previous challenge run, so any of the animals taking part today that reaches that elusive 100 baby target, they'll be slotted into the overall leaderboard, with their final place sitting relative to the results of the original challenge. Right, with all that cleared up, let's get started. So breeding has been turned on, and we should see a flurry of breeding activity very shortly. Oh, platypus about to mate, and that's first offspring confirmed. Second mating, the wild water buffalo. Next is capybara. To you too. That's our Nile Lechwe's mate apparently. Spectacle caiman has mated. Ooh, first birth! Platypus first birth! Right, let's see how we do. One little platypus. Oh, are there any more? Yep, I see another one there. 2 platypuses. Or should that be platypi? Hang on, there's a third. So 3 offspring there for the platypus. A good performance there by the spectacle caiman. That's 8 little offspring there, so taking them very much into first place. Yeah. First offspring for the Asian otter with a total of 3 there. Just 1 chick for the red crown cranes. I think they generally produce 1 with every pregnancy. Never seen 2 or more. Bumper litter for the capybaras. That's 4, no wait, 5. 5 baby capybaras for the first offspring. Nice. Next up, Nile Lechwe. Ah, very cute. Just 1 calf there though for the Lechwe. Last but not least, final team to give birth to their first baby, wild water buffalo. Almost certain this is sure to be just one offspring here. Yep, just one for the wild water buffalo. That leaves them at the bottom of the leaderboard. First offspring for capybaras aged up. I've noticed here, the capybara, the first offspring, even though there was 5 babies, only one of those is a female. The rest are all boys. Surely that's going to impact their breeding capability early doors. Nope, spoke too soon. Capybara is the first to inbreed. Yep, only female from the first litter is indeed pregnant now. Second litter for spectacle caiman, and that's 8 babies again. So, a clear leader here. 3 more for the platypus. And following suit, that's 3 more for the otter family too. Seems consistent. Platypuses and otters have 3 babies with each birth. First inbred litter for the capybara. Now, question is, will the inbreeding affect how many babies are born? That's 4, so yeah, it has. Still not a bad result there. Oh no, sneaky 5th one there. So with the help of inbreeding, that's capybara up to 15 babies now. Neck and neck with the spectacle caiman there for first place. Just one more offspring for the lechwe there. Breeding faster than the crane to take 5th place. Caiman here's just pushed way out in front with another bumper litter of 8 babies. So that's 24 in total now for the caiman, certainly securing their place at the top of the leaderboard. Well, there's been an explosion at the capybara enclosure. Lots and lots of inbreeding has pushed them into the lead. More birds for the platypuses, taking them to 15. Capybara almost halfway, pushing well ahead of the other animals taking part here today. Although our first litter from the spectacle caimans are now aging up, so fingers crossed they start producing babies of their own now. The problems we had with the dwarf caiman in the other episodes, they never aged up in time to procreate themselves. Both OG parents died before we got to this point, so I'm hopeful that this is going to be a big turning point for the caimans here. Yeah, here we go. A couple years later, spectacle caiman is starting to get close to the capybara's total there. Lots of young offspring to contend with. Nope, capybara refusing to give up that first place. Breeding season for the capybara has seen a massive increase in numbers again, now up to 68. So this is obviously now just a competition between the caiman and the capybara here. Caiman just one litter away from matching the capybara. Capybara retaliating with even more birds. Look at them all. Oh, a nasty lag spike there. My computer can't handle them. Oh no, please don't crash. Ooh, that was scary. We did it. Laggy capybara have reached the total. 100 capybara. Well done. Platypuses reached quarter of the way to the target. Increase of 6 babies for the Asian otters. However, there's a problem here. Do you know earlier I said that I didn't think there was any pack animals? Well, I was wrong. Only 1 breeding pair for the otters. So unlikely these guys are ever going to make it anywhere near the 100 target. What a shame. Caiman's nailed it. That is 100 caiman. Great job. Obviously missing out to the capybara there, but considering how poorly the dwarf caiman did in the previous episodes, I think the spectacle caiman has proven just how capable the caimans are of getting to that total. Well done, guys. Well done. Platypus almost doubled their numbers here. Almost halfway, guys. Oh, had to happen sometime. First death due to aging. That is one of our Asian otters is out. Still 1 left, but they're not on a great score right now. Just 15 in total for the Asian otters. More bad news. One of the platypuses is down. They're not far from the total as well, so fingers crossed the remaining platypus can stay alive long enough for about 25 more babies there. Oh, that's it for the Asian otter. Second one down. Just 15 babies, their final score there. Suffering from the pack animal alpha status traits. Following suit there, platypuses are out. OG platypus just couldn't manage it. And they were so close as well. 73 babies? Nothing to be sniffed at. More doom and gloom. That is the first Nile lechway to pass. They have brought their total up to 15 at this stage, so matching the Asian otter. Nope, that's it. All over for the lechway. That's the second one to go. No more babies, so their total there is 15. So we're down to the final 2, and it's not looking promising for those left. Wild water buffalo are having major problems here. They're very slow with their breeding anyway, but these guys are also exhibiting those alpha status breeding tendencies too. Our OG male buffalo has now aged up into infertility, but he's still actively blocking the younger males from breeding. So, unfortunately, only 3 babies here for the buffalo, and that status is not going to change now. We lost the female OG buffalo a while back, and the male one is very much approaching the end of his life. Our red crown cranes have only made it to 5 babies at this point, but the positive here is red crown cranes have a really long lifespan. It's very similar to how the greater flamingo works in the game, and if you can remember what happened with those guys in the previous episodes, they, well, exactly like this, spent ages to produce, but because they lived so long, they got there in the end. Our cranes here might be able to do the same. Well, that's it. All over for the buffalo. I would say good effort, but it really wasn't that good of an effort. Perfect timing there for the keeper to check up on them. I thought we had 4. Oh no, only 3 now. Woohoo! Dude, not cool. Don't woohoo the death. What's wrong with you? So, crane's now the only animal left. Up to 7 babies, so certainly a long way to still go. That said, they're not even in elderly status yet, so we're gonna have to do what we did last time and just push the fast forward button, check back in every couple of years and see if the numbers have grown. Well, it's been 18 years and they've doubled in size, but alas, here we're losing OG Dad. Lived a long life, but that means only OG female is left. Now, for some reason, her lifespan is a lot longer than the males. So there's still a chance we could make it to the 100. We'll check back in a little while. 12 years on, and we've just surpassed the platypus. The OG female crane is starting to get a little on now. She is very elderly, so I am worried. Really hope we get that target, but can't guarantee it at this point. Fingers crossed, everyone. Well, there was no need to worry. We made it. 100 cranes and still plenty of life in OG female there. So, job well done. You took your blooming time, but we got there in the end. So, 3 out of 7 of the wetlands animals achieving that 100 baby target here. Let's see what that does to the overall leaderboard. This is all of our 13 animals that have achieved the 100 baby target. I've calculated everything up based on how long it took each species to reach that goal. As you can see here, common ostrich has been knocked off the top spot. Indeed, Capybara was able to get to the target nearly a whole 2 years sooner than the ostrich did. So, Capybara can now take the title of quickest and most prolific breeder in Planet Zoo. Spectacle Cayman coming in 3rd, almost on a tie with the ostrich there. When I was calculating the dates, there was only about 2 weeks difference in it, so very close indeed. No other changes on the board, with the crane sitting in last place there. Taking a whopping 59.25 years here to get to 100. Almost twice as long as it took the tortoises, and here's me thinking they took forever to breed. That concludes our 100 baby challenge. If you wanted more, be sure to check out the other challenge playlists on the channel. We ran a whole series on an animal championship last month, and there's a heap of challenge races on the channel too. Hope you've enjoyed this series. It's been fun to record. Well, aside from waiting for the cranes to breed, that was like watching paint dry. 30 years at the end there, watching the game run on fast forward with nothing happening. What a joy. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and say our parting words. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.